They'll be calling you a radical. I'm going to talk about the earthquake at Sendai, the only reactor that was online. I'm going to talk about the lie of nuclear being clean. I'm going to talk about Mike Lee, freaking the phony fake, who kicked back the money from Flint, Michigan, crumbling infrastructure. I'm going to talk about cancer. I'm going to talk about the whole nuclear lies. Hang in there with me on this. I'm up against so much. So, first and foremost, we're going to talk about this article that came out that, now how's this possible? I want you, all nuclear fighters, all hands on deck, all hands on deck. I want every one of you to sit and think about this. 48 nuclear reactors in Japan, offline for 5 years. Now, they've restarted up 2. The first one they restarted up on the 70th anniversary of Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Now think about that, when they knew a typhoon was coming in Sendai. Now this, where they've had the earthquake, is the only reactor that's been started up. They started up another one. The Japanese people have fought back so hard against the globalists that are running this, the Obama administration that runs the show at Japan. A judge over there forced them to re-shut it back down. Now when Sendai re-fired up, I reported that they had a possible, most likely a meltdown scenario. Not my words, their own words. They got hit by a typhoon when they were in direct startup. Is the most dangerous time of a reactor, bar none. So it got full of seaweed. They had to back it up, shut down. It's shut down by definition. Now you think about the apparatus there be. If something happened dramatically out there, how would we know? I want all of you, I could lay this out point by point by point on the nuclear cartel, how evil it is. Now look, simply, one word, what do you not get about Fukushima? So now they're saying, now think about this, I want you to think about this. No rolling blackouts in Japan. When they told us they made up well over 70% of their grid, oh, they just went back to coal. No, they did not. No, they did not. And I'll tell you why. Because they got efficient a long time ago. The consumption fell way down, consumption fell way down. Same thing in the United States. California is producing so much solar they have nowhere to put it. That's a fact, Jack. So think about this. How is it possible that Japan is reducing greenhouse gases? You heard me, reducing greenhouse gases when all their nuclear went off. That can't be possible because nuclear is greenhouse gases. When are you going to wake up and realize 410 reactors boiling the Earth's water over and over? You know how hot that water comes out? Now think about it. You know how much water they use? You know how much carbon footprint there is? It's uranium mines, storage of the spent fuel. I'm going to get to Mike Lee. Mike Lee, in a third world country, what do they tell you? Now you think about it. Third world country would have incredible reeling debt out of control that nobody will deal with. Corruption at all government levels, right? Don't drink the water. So right there where that mountain is on the other side, right here where I live in Weber County. So the answer by the Obama administration, because Obama gets a pass on everything. He can freaking pollute the earth to no end. He gets a pass, which is outrageous. So Mike Lee, his ideologue, has kicked back the money from Flint. He's blocked it. How can a junior senator block it? Now, I want to really get into this. So the Obama administration, which the EPA is supposed to be doing this anyway, how does Gina McCarthy get a pass? How does Lyndon Jackson get a pass? How does Secretary Chu get a pass? All these people that get a pass over and over and over. These are the greatest crimes against humanity in human history called Fukushima, the cover-up of Fukushima and the mass murder. So how do they get a pass? So their answer is, oh, you need to test all your water for lead, which they're supposed to be doing that anyway. Kind of like RadNet. We spent billions of dollars. Gina McCarthy crashes RadNet and then becomes head of the EPA. Reward for eugenics, mass murder, John Holden from hell. So they go in and test them all right there on the other side, Huntsville, Liberty. Tested so high for lead. Right out here in Roy, all over the country, tested. But God forbid we put 5 cents into our infrastructure. The boogeyman, how nice is they invented ISIS. Went to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get Big Dick Cheney and the boys a big old sack, 100 billion Swiss bank accounts on Balco. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. They're still there. He's all gone. How nice is they've invented ISIS. Boogeyman, pay the dragon slayer. So Mike Lee, I'm going to get into Mike Lee. Now, I've been really, really sick the last 3 months. Really sick. I mean, the sickest I've been since the cancer treatment. I'm in a war. Really in a war. I know what to do. I know I've been battling. I want to talk about this. I want to get into this because there's a lot of people that are fighting cancer that are in this thing, in this epic battle. AML leukemia. AML de novo leukemia, which is a beast from hell. It's very hard to survive it. I got a miracle because a family friend, a great oncologist, stepped in and overrode all the He overrode the pathologist order. I got a miracle because of one guy. I had quite a bit of money when I got sick. You know, they say, oh, you're uninsured, they're uninsured. If you go into an emergency room and go to the hospital uninsured, they're going to just toss you out to the wolves. And I think people in Europe need to understand this. A lot of people don't get this in Europe, that how fucked up our medical system is. Obamacare didn't make it better, it made it worse. Fucking handout, look, the doctors at LDS, they love me, they want me in there, whatever. But I forked over all my money, exhausted. So Mike Lee, let's get into Mike Lee. How does a junior senator block the infrastructure money in the bill going to Flint, Michigan? Now, I understand you're sitting on idealistic freaking ground on over government spending, which the feds are so fucking out of control. They're pathetic fucking rats. It's disgusting what they do. No accountability. I get that. But let's talk about Mike Lee. Okay, Mike Lee, brother, is a Utah Supreme Court justice. BYU law, Karl Rove, handpicked, appointed. Why he's running for the United States Senate? He's running on a fiscal responsible teabagger party. Now, there's a video out there with me talking to Mike Lee. Mike Lee's dad died very young of AML leukemia. You know, so this is the insanity of this guy. He lied to me right in public. He lied to my face. Another cancer victim, one fighting cancer. Kevin, I'll get back to you right there this week. And that's the next Monday. He was holding up his buddy Ted Cruz on the thing. Why do you think Ted Cruz made a statement about BYU? Because they're CIA rats. It's pay to play, freaking. They write the narrative. They don't care about the debt. They don't care about anything. They care about the repression, military industrialized complex, feed the beast, feed the beast. Mike Lee's house was in foreclosure while he's running for the Senate. Why would no media report that? I reported that. Now, I want to get into this. So, this is a guy who's fiscal responsible, right? He's fiscal responsible. Never, his big freaking house, Summit County, never made a payment. He's losing his house. He can't pay his bills. Fiscal responsible. You should see this thing. But he's fiscal responsible. You need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. So his house is foreclosed on it. Why he gets elected? No media, the Salt Lake Tribune, the Deseret News, none of them will report it because they're all in on the club. So why his house gets foreclosed on, it's short sold. A shortfall of $600,000. That's legal tender in Utah. We have BYU law. We have University of Utah. It's the debt collection capital of the world. It's the big data capital of the world. That's why NSA's here. They're CIA, Mormon rats, all of them. It's a club. One-party politics, closed primaries. They handpick them through BYU. Ask Alito, ask Karl Rove with a small C, which none of them are from here. Mike Lee is. So his house is foreclosed on. He loses his house. It's in Utah. That's legal tender. You get sued for it, your wages will be garnished for life on it. That's just the way it is. You fucking welfare mooches. So, in the meantime, I've got leukemia. I'm fighting for my life. I'm getting treated like shit in these emergency rooms at IHC right there. So I fork over. You watched me. I turned $3,000 into $700-something right here on YouTube. Video proof of it all over. Shorted silver at 47 on the triple short. Shorted gold to the day at 1900. Bought the, you know, all kinds of derivatives on different things. You watched me. Had a whole bunch of Tesla stock. I paid $14 a share for. You watched it. Made a lot of millionaires here. None of them, you know, so I forked on a family friend, Vincent Hansen, stepped in and overrode everybody. That's what we're up against. Or I would have died. So I go into the bone marrow transplant, fork over my money, go on Medicaid immediately. That's the way this game works. The average AML leukemia treatment is $1.8 million. And they get higher than that. So I go in, all of a sudden, while I'm under treatment, now look, I got through 3 rounds of the heavy air CM squared. They wanted 5, then the bone marrow transplant. I wasn't recovering. I was dying. Celeste herself, the secretary at the LDS East State Bone Marrow Transplant, says, Kevin, I prepared your paperwork when you went in. I got so malpracticed and mistreated for weeks by McQuack D Hospital here in McKay-D in Ogden, Utah. I mean, they misdiagnosed me. I had tumors in me. They put the pathologist put it in the wrong thing. You know, they fucked me at every which way but loose. Fucking all mass murdered me. One guy saved my life at the very end. And then I went into there. They bone marrow biopsy and says, oh my God. I found a YouTube video. I diagnosed myself. And then Vincent stepped in and helped. So while I'm in there under treatment, I'm not recovering. You know, I did that. Remember I did that video where I prayed and, you know, my grandparents came to me and I made the decision not to have the bone marrow transplant. I think everybody thought I was going to die. But a guy named Brian Morris had done it before me. They'd sent him to die and he'd lived. So I've been in that. So they cut me loose. So I'm in treatment, which is basically just drawing my blood all the time and checking and monitoring my progress and watching. That's basically what it was. So a year ago, out of the blue, I got back from New York. The doctor wrote, he says, we're cutting you loose early. And I said, the only reason you're cutting me loose early is because got kicked off Medicaid. I was due to have gallbladder surgery, I have my gallbladder cut out. And right the day before, the secretary calls me, says, you're out of insurance. I said, what are you talking about? I'm under AML leukemia treatment. Well, here's what happened. So Mike Lee and his ideologue, Ted Cruz, freaking fake stance, while his house is in foreclosure, he got $600,000 from Chase Bank in a bank bailout. Moocher, Mike Lee. Welfare queen, Mike Lee. He, in idealistically stand, kicks our money back, our own money back. So, our own money, through Medicaid, just to make an idealistic freaking grandstand. So the state's at a shortfall. John Huntsman Sr. makes an incredible radical statement, says we're going to run against him. Huntsman Chemical, the mass murders. Which, let's get real, now John Huntsman Jr. is his campaign manager. They circle the wagons, it's all in the club. The luxury good of death. Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman Cancer Treatment, Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman Cancer, Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman. Can you connect those fucking dots? So, I'm kicked off Medicaid. I'm like, what the fuck? So, come to find out, the state was in a shortfall. So, they didn't want to kick children off, they didn't want to kick women off, so they went to single men. So they did a review case on single men. Anybody who was towards the end of the treatments, they didn't care, whatever, they kicked them off. My doctor says it's unheard of. So the LDS hospital and these other administrations, they circle the wagons. The doctors want you in there, so they says, we're cutting you loose early, 2 years early. And I says, the only reason you're cutting me loose is I'm out of insurance. So under Obamacare, I'm uninsurable. I'm one of those people that fall into that fucked up window. There's a lot of us. Why the open enrollment was going on. It's outrageous. So this is the guy, he gets $600,000 from Chase, look it up, in a bank bailout. Why, this is the idealistic guy, we're not going to spend the government's money when he spends the government, so do the math on this guy. So, back to Sendai and back to the earthquake. Now, I want people to, I could list 10 reasons why the nuclear industry should be over immediately and the corruption. 10 reasons. So, more than 10. But, okay, so think about this. Now they're saying greenhouse gases are going down. How is that even possible? Greenhouse gases are going down. It's impossible, right? Stay with me. I'm trying to do something right here on my banner. So, I'll tell you why. Because nuclear is greenhouse gases. Nuclear, that's gotten around, huh? Vienna, New York City, in the MoMA. Boy, has it gotten around. So, it is greenhouse gases. The water comes out 20 to 30 degrees hotter on the outtake than the intake. Full of tritium, plutonium, cesium, strontium. You don't get one without the other. They're poisoning the earth. The cancer freaking, my doctors yesterday in the hospital, you know, because they got me blocked. I'm out of Medicaid. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got an allergic reaction going off. My doctor says, your body's trying to fight something off. I says, well, my Geiger counter's been going crazy. Radiation is trying to fight off. I can't take anymore, and my body knows that. So, the steam that comes out of the top of those is boiling water steam. Nuclear is global warming. Nuclear is heating up the atmosphere. So the Al Gore thesis, they shoved down that NSA rat, by the way, who built a house who sucks up $8,000 of energy a month. They put out this narrative to keep this cash cow pig going, called nuclear. The narrative was that it's the replacement for dirty coal, when it's dirtier than even coal. And so they took the field. They're circling the wagons. So if this does not prove to you in Japan, 48 reactors offline. 48. Now, that video I did on the Sendai race startup and the thing come out on the 70th anniversary made the front page of Reddit. Front page of Reddit. 18,000 views so fast make your head spin. Google took it down and said, they didn't even give me a reason. No copyright strike, no nothing. Just took it down. They says, well, we're just taking it down. Because it was on Reddit. I mean, wow. Aaron Swartz on Balco. So, no rolling blackouts. That's impossible, right? It proves the malice in their lies. We don't use any nuclear power. We don't use any. It takes more nuclear power for these MOXIE fuel. Now they're bringing up the MOX fuel back from Japan. There was MOX fuel in 3. What's MOX fuel for? You know, nuclear weapons. Pump full in 3. Now we have the emails from John Holder, and as I reported in the early days, that Zook fires in 3 and 4 were on fire from the get. So it just proves the malice. And I want to say this about the Huffington Post. Hillary's emails have proved they use the Huffington Post. She said it right in there. We place stuff in the Huffington Post for placement. Works beautifully. NSA, she's admitted it. It's NSA, Huffington Post is the apparatus, Ariana Huffington's the CIA rat. They're admitting. They're admitting that they pay the place. The NSA writes this, the narrative. Their lobbyists, the nuclear lobbyists, write these articles, these studies. They write them. The cancer victim cancer's off the hook, off the hook. They've changed the thyroid now through the CDC is thyroid tumors is not cancer anymore. Did you know that? As of yesterday. They've changed the way on obituaries you don't have to list cause of death. And people are so selfish they won't list cause of death because, oh, it's all about me, when they live in this communal circle. They don't care. So the researchers can't count cancer. They're trying to hide the freaking cancer rate. They know it's off the hook. Obama in the State of the Union, oh, he's caused cancer, he's killed the Pacific Ocean, he's radiated the earth, Fukushima, Fukushima, Fukushima. He knows something, so he's like, our only hope's, let's cure cancer. You know, false equivalency on Balco. So, no rolling blackouts. Greenhouse emissions going down in Japan because nuclear is greenhouse. Nuclear is. I mean, the whole thing is the dirtiest, filthiest cash cow mass murderer in history. That's Sendai. Now think about this. When they circle the wagons, Stay Secret Act. So you could have a full blown out meltdown. How's anyone going to know? Now you think about it. The people inside Japan fight. You know, no media. You can't even talk about it. You go to prison. You go to jail. I mean, fascism on Balco. Who could pull that off besides the nuclear industry? It's so outrageous. Mike Lee, the phoniest hypocrite. Well, isn't that what we are? Ignorant, selfish people elect, and we don't elect them. Here in Utah, you don't have open primaries. One-party politics. It's closed. They handpick them. This was a gift to Judge Alito. He was Alito's lead staffer. The United States Supreme Court. I mean, this is so outrageous. So we fight this fight in an epic way. You know, people that are fighting this, leukemia. Look, I want people to know this. I know this because our big group that was in there with AML leukemia, huge group went out, I'm the only one left alive. My doctors love me, whatever, but the IHC will refuse. I'm done. I'm done. They threw me out early. I do not get monitored. I get no cancer. I get no treatment whatsoever. None anymore. I'm on my own. Because these administrators run the show. They're all bottom line driven. They're money. And by the way, I want people to very much know, hospital administrators, including IHC all over, that's what they hate people that fight. They hate people that survive. Ask Scripps, the luxury good of death. They hate people that fight back. They hate people that fucking question. They hate people that dig in, like I did. They hate people that tell the pathology, you're a lying fucking piece of shit, you're fucking wrong. They hate anybody that questions their fucking thesis. They hate people like that. They hate my guts inside there. They hate me, not inside. The doctors love me to save my life. Celeste says, Kevin, you came in as a red 10. I've been here 26 years. I expected to do your paperwork on the way out. Malpractice from hell. You think I'd get an attorney to sponsor me, work with me? No, fuck, they hate me. Because I fight back. I tell the truth. I'm in logic. I survive. I fucking survive. I can't survive. So when they beat it back, which most people, they don't beat it back. Then they watch you. You get lucky. They know it comes back 85% of the time. And I want to say this. When it comes back, Marshall was the first guy that got the HIV. He was all over the media. He was in the room next to me. My friend. You know, they reported it. Feel good stories, KSL, KUG. Feel good, feel good, feel good. Oh yeah, feel good. He's in remission and everything. So he dies in November. Not one story anybody's going to talk about he's died because it's not feel good anymore. So that's what I've been up against. I know the window's 5 years. I know that I've been flying blind on this. I know I got no safety net. I know I got nobody. I know I got nothing but our small teeny fucking group and my fight against the nuclear cartel. My fight to try to fucking stay alive and try to save you from you. When it comes back, which it comes back 85% of the time, that's it. I mean, they can retry everything, experiment, it never works. I've watched it too many times. I know this. I know this. So every single day that I've been fighting this, it's like it's right on me. And I've just been waiting, because I've been in the hospital multiple times since, or, you know, really sick one. I'm just waiting for them to say, because they'll draw my blood, do the work, and they'll say, I just waited for them to say, Kevin, God, it's back. Let's readmit you. I know as soon as those words come, they start preparing for death. And I know what it's like to die of leukemia. I've watched too many people do it. It's brutal. It's fucking ugly. I can't do it. I told Paul when he was dying, held his hand, my lifelong best friend that grew up right here, as he passed from this disease, fighting with me. I'm not as strong as you, Paul. And I want to say this, people that do go, people that are in the leukemia fight, they don't lose, they win. They're beautiful. Amazing. It is the most knockdown, drag out, fucking nasty fucking fight. You have no clue. I don't think anybody has no clue. You have fucking AML. You have these brutal fucking cancers like this, plants of the blood. Fucking go to I used to invite people into the bone marrow transplant center all the time. I used to invite them in all the time. They wouldn't go. These women, these men that fight, you have no clue. This is the most epic fight in you. I call it the greatest fight ever. Until you've been in it, you have no clue how epic it is. There's no such fucking other fight. And I got scars on my face. I've been in fucking all kinds of wars and fights up and down. There's nothing like this fight. It's the ultimate fight. It's beyond fucking bare knuckles, drag out fucking heavy fucking war. It's in the trenches from hell. It's a fucking war from hell. I've been in that fucking war. Surviving disease that I can't fucking survive, I'm alive. I mean, the activism, my fight against the nuclear cartel is my life. It is my life, and I'm going to take them fucking down. I'm going to survive this fucking disease. I'm sick again right now. Very sick. You know, my body's fucking rashing out all over. You know, and he's like, Kevin, you know, I have to fucking privately see a doctor or whatever. I'm fucked. Your body's fucking rejecting something. You know, it's fighting back. I'm fighting fucking back. And they hate people that fight back. Fuck them. Saving you for you. We fight back. Fuck Mike Lee, that phony ideologue fucking lying rat. Fuck all these politicians. Fuck all this fucking lying nuclear cartel. We battle on these motherfuckers. And we take them down and let them brand themselves in history. Let these rats brand themselves in fucking history. Let these rats. Because they're on the wrong side of history and we're going to take these fucking rats down. Do not give up. Stay in tune.